What's up and good morning. Today I'm in Las Terrenas with Jonah from Jonah Gives Back, and we're gonna be taking you around town, check out some real estate, and we're gonna sit down and I'll ask him a few questions about his experiences living here the last couple years. So I'm gonna go get ready and we'll start the day. All right, so we're all ready to go. We came in last night and stayed at Jonah's beautiful condo. There's one thing that I was thinking about all night. This is the first time that I come from Santo Domingo to Las Terrenas. Usually when I come to Las Terrenas, it's via Santiago, either through Moca or San Francisco de Macorís. But I met up with Jonah yesterday in Santo Domingo and we just came straight from there. And let me tell you, that drive has these super scenic views, lush forests, lots of trees, which is one of the things I love about this country. And I can tell you, I'm definitely gonna be doing that more often. This is a common theme here in Las Terrenas. A lot of people love to come here and rent these scooters and ATVs and just joyride. And there's also many excursions here in town that they offer. So we're sitting down at this really cool breakfast and pastry spot. And I ordered this croissant with ham and cheese. I also got some chinola juice, which is passion fruit. It's super tasty, and I love getting this almost everywhere I go here in the country. Now, Las Terrenas is known for having a big European community. As we're sitting down here, I'm hearing Italian, French. I think I heard a little bit of German as well. There's also a lot of Europeans that come here on vacation. Now, of course, there's still more Dominicans that live here in Las Terrenas, but there's so many Europeans, you can't miss it. Now we're gonna go check out a new business that's coming to Las Terrenas soon that I'm sure you're gonna love. So I'm standing in front of what's going to be the new El Mambo Boutique Hotel here in Las Terrenas. This is one of the projects that most people can't wait to see. The designs are just incredible, and it's gonna give Las Terrenas a unique new experience for everyone to enjoy. This is Manny. He's one of the masterminds behind this majestic project. Can you tell us a little bit about this project?
We're in the heart of Las Terrenas. It's a 9-suite boutique hotel. We have pool, courtyards, a little bit of Zona Colonial and Las Terrenas Samana built into one. And it's really been a team effort here between myself, my wife, some friends, Christopher Harris. And we decided to start this project basically because it was a great opportunity for us. And we're trying to grow in the town and the country where my family's from and where I'm from. My family was born in Bani, down south. I've been visiting my entire life, and I've always wanted to invest here. So now at 42 years old, I have the opportunity. I started about 2-3 years ago investing here. I'm looking to be a part of the boom, but also be part of the contributing factor to the local economy is what I'm trying to do, and really give back and help out the community here.
Well, I know this is one of the projects that I'm looking forward to most in Las Terrenas, and I think you hear this a lot. When can we expect for this to be up and running?
So this could be up and running in about, I'd say 4 to 8 weeks. Everyone else thinks 3 weeks, but I'm a details person. So if I can get an extra 2 months to the furnishings, the lighting, get everything perfect, if that's what it takes, that's what we'll do. So probably February is what I'm looking at personally.
Well, I think you've done an amazing job. I definitely look forward to it. And good job, man.
Cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
So there you have it. I can't wait to see the finished product. I think he said the next couple months it should be finished. So I'm looking forward to that. We're about to hop in the car and keep it rolling. So we're sitting down here with Jonah on this amazingly beautiful day in Las Terrenas. For those of you that don't know Jonah, check out his page. He shows how it is living in the Dominican Republic. And now we get to ask him a few questions about his journey from the US to the Dominican Republic. How you feeling today, man?
I'm all right. What's up, everyone?
So Jonah, what inspired you to move to the Dominican Republic?
Well, there's a multitude of things. For me, DR's always held a special place in my heart. My parents are Dominican. Like I always tell people, I grew up coming to the Dominican Republic. The people, the culture, the way of life. It's always attracted me to the island. As someone that grew up in the States, I saw a lot of cultural differences that I appreciated and valued about the Dominican culture and how things operate here. And as a father, and the climate and the state of what the U.S. is like, or what the U.S. is right now, it wasn't ideal for me to raise my family. So I've been here now for 3.5, going on 4 years. And it's been one of the best decisions I've made.
What would you say was the biggest challenge that you faced during your move?
So for me, Aside from family and friends trying to, get me to stay in the States and try to convince me that moving to Dominican Republic was the wrong move, I think the second biggest thing was the logistics. Getting my stuff from the US to here. I had to ship my car, I sold my house, I shipped all my furniture here to Dominican Republic. So being from Texas, being that there's not a large Dominican community, it's not like if you live in New York, Boston, Massachusetts, where there's a large Dominican population and there's different couriers and ways of shipping your things from the US to the Dominican Republic. So for me, that was something that, I'm not gonna say it was difficult, but it was a challenge because it was a learning curve. Everyone's situation's different. You came from Florida, I came from Texas. In Miami, there's tons of Dominicans, and you have, these different services that you can just send in Vios. Whereas in Texas, I had to literally pack my house up, get a car, drive all the way to Houston, about 2 hours, to go to the port and send my stuff. So that was a bit of a challenge. And then at the beginning, it's not a challenge, but it's adaptability. How are you going to adapt to Dominican Republic? How are you going to adapt to the way of life and the way things are done here? Are you going to be patient? So it's not necessarily a challenge, but it's things that I had to adjust.
How has living here changed your perspective on life?
For me, it's simple. You realize that, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an investor, and in the States, it's constantly, people live to work. And as you know, I do a lot of, give back campaigns. I do a lot of initiatives within the community to try to help and educate future generations. And one of the things that I've noticed is that those that people like to call poor or belittle or think that they're unhappy are some of the wealthiest people when it comes down to happiness. So for me, it's definitely slowed down. It's a slower pace of life, which is what I was looking for. I've grown extremely patient because things are not done right away. And best of all, I haven't bought on Amazon.
Was the move what you expected, or were there surprises along the way?
I think the only surprise was the amount of money that I had to pay to get my car out of Aduana. That was a surprise because nobody can give me like a set number as to how much I was going to pay. People gave me ballpark estimates, but because the formalities and the things aren't as organized as they are in the States, I couldn't get a solid, concrete answer. So that was it. As far as coming out here, I came open-minded. I came with the mindset that I had to adapt to the way of things here. I can't expect others to adapt to the way I am because I'm the one that moved to another country. Even though I am Dominican, I would only come here for vacation. And living here and being on vacation are two completely different things. So
Yeah, I've heard some nightmare stories about shipping your car from the U.S. over here.
Yeah, I don't.
Countless stories.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. I've purchased 3 vehicles here since I lived in the Dominican Republic for a plethora of reasons. But one of the biggest things is I don't recommend anybody sending their car through here because it's a headache. And then one thing that I also learned is that cars that are sold in the U.S., they're called Americanos. So they have different specifications as far as the cars here. So for example, like there's a call button here in my wife's car right now that needs to be replaced, but because that's not something that's a part of the Volvos here, they can't really do anything about it.
How do you feel about the cultural differences between the U.S. and the Dominican Republic?
There are definitely culture shocks that I deal with now going back to the States. After living here, you start to change your mindset. You start to see life from, like I said, a different perspective. And when you go back to the States, you see that it's very individualistic. It's very about me, 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 me. And at the end of the day, there are a lot of people that, they don't care about family values. They don't care about a lot of the things that people do value and cherish here in the Dominican Republic.
What's your favorite part of Dominican culture or lifestyle?
For me, it's the people and the food. We have some of the most happiest, kind-hearted people in the world. I go to a lot of underserved communities, and those that don't have anything are always willing to give the most. And so that's something that humbles me. That's something that makes me realize, hey, you know what? I don't need millions of dollars to be happy. I don't need a Ferrari. I don't need a mansion. I don't need a lot of the things that consumerism in the United States has taught us that happiness exists. So for me, that's a big factor because there are a lot of things that you think you need in life in order to be happy. And when you come here, the people, it's one of my favorite things, I realize are happiest with the littlest things. So it really sheds light and it really shows life from a different perspective.
What's the best way for newcomers to make friends and network over here?
Hey, I host monthly networking Back to the Roots events. And I think, we've built a pretty good community, especially in Santiago, of a lot of like-minded individuals. A lot of the individuals that are moving to Dominican Republic are entrepreneurs. They've created like a financial independence, and it's nice to network with other like-minded individuals. So I put together these meetups because it has really, it's shown to me that A, people want it, and B, it's sometimes hard as adults to meet people outside of work, and these networking events have been extremely beneficial to a lot of people. So you can come out to a networking event, ask around. I'm an open book. I love sharing my story. I love sharing my perspective on the move to DR. And to be clear, what I shared doesn't mean that, people have to live that lifestyle. It's just showing people that that lifestyle is attainable here in the Dominican Republic. And that's something that's extremely important because oftentimes, like I said earlier, we mentally enslave ourselves into thinking that we can't do certain things. So the Dominican dream is alive. Network out there, go out there and meet other people, and join different forums and different community groups that are, of people that have similar interests.
Is there something that you wish you knew before you moved out here?
No, not at all. Because at the end of the day, you're always gonna learn. And regardless, I may think I know everything now, but until you do it, until you actually, put the right foot forward and take action, you're not going to know any of that. I think a lot of people, have analysis paralysis. They're trying to figure out every single thing about, how can I make that perfect move to the Dominican Republic? And it doesn't have to just be DR, it can be any country in the world that you decide to move to. And understand that life is all about learning. And what was normal back 10 years ago, let's just say with traveling or construction or starting a restaurant, can be different today. So I don't regret anything or wish I would have known anything differently, because at the end of the day, we are all learning along the process.
What's your go-to advice for someone that's looking to move to the Dominican Republic?
Ask yourself what it is that you expect and how you expect your life to be in the Dominican Republic and how you're going to attain it. Simple as that, those three things. Why, what you expect your life to look like, and how you're going to attain it.
Those are very important things to know. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Still here or somewhere else?
I'm not leaving DR. For me, I see myself in DR, maybe traveling, but this is where I'm going to be raising my family for many reasons. So I'd love to travel the world, but this is definitely where I'm going to be.
If you want to see what type of work Jonah does, definitely follow him on Instagram and on YouTube. He has a lot of experience here, so I definitely recommend taking a look. Thanks, man.
Hey, appreciate the time, bro.
So I'm gonna wrap up the video right here, but I'm definitely gonna come back to Las Terrenas on a day where it's not so rainy and show all its beautiful beaches and waterfalls in Samaná. So if you'd like to see those videos, definitely don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.